Hey guys, what's up? I'm kind of in a weird funk. I'm actually having a bad day. But yeah, I'll say that. I'm having a little bit of a bad day. I feel like today's one of those days where nothing is quite going right, and no matter what I do, no matter how many reminders I send out, it's just not happening. So I figured I'm gonna go home and tend to my plants and film something that I enjoy doing, and hopefully that'll, give me a boost of serotonin. So in today's video, I want to talk about a few essentials that I think every houseplant or every beginner who is getting into houseplants should have in their collection. And honestly, only one of them is something that you need to go out and buy. And I'm saying that because I feel like nowadays there's just so much information out there, and it's like, which one do I buy? Which one is better? So it can get very overwhelming and very daunting, especially if all you want to do is keep your plants alive. And, I think the core of it, people turn to YouTube because they just really want their plants to stay alive. And sometimes, we can get caught up with like the fancy gadgets and whatnot. But really, there's only like 3 things, in my opinion. And they're like basic, just super basic essentials that you need. And the only thing that I'm going to tell you to go out and buy is fertilizer. Your plants need to be fertilized. It needs nutrients. It will not survive on just, the soil. And if you've actually successfully converted your plants over to semi-hydro, it 100% needs nutrients. So which fertilizer should you get? Because there's quite a lot. There's powder form, liquid form. There's some that you can pick up at Walmart for like, I don't even know, like $10. Is that how much it costs out there now? I don't know. But you can go to Walmart and pick it up. Or you can go to your nursery and get like a fancy bag. Which one's better? To me, they all do the same thing, okay? It just depends on what you want your plant to actually do. So the only thing that I would say to do a little bit more research on is actually paying attention to the ratio, the NPK on your fertilizer. I say that because each element corresponds to different parts of the plants. I don't quite know if I said that right, but I know that nitrogen is supposed to give your foliage more green, and it's supposed to help your leaves grow bigger, and the phosphorus is supposed to assist in root development. Maybe the potassium is supposed to assist in flowering. I don't know. It's not something that I care to do for my plants, so I didn't do research on that. I wanted bigger, greener leaves, so I'd focus on picking up a fertilizer that had a higher number of nitrogen. I don't know if you saw that, but I just took a scoop, like a little baby scoop from here, and dumped it into my jug. Now, I know that some people are going to be like, why would you do that? You're probably going to burn your roots. And yeah, you're probably right if my plants were not acclimated and have already tolerated the full dose. So weekly fertilize your plants, okay? Go slow and build up. What was I saying? Right, weekly fertilize your plants. So if you do decide to grab this bag, I started off putting, I think, maybe a quarter of the spoon into this jug, and I would fill it up, and then I would just water my plants that way. Oh, look, even Ritz is in a mood. Oh man. But yeah, so fertilizer, it's a must. Your plants cannot survive without it. Please do your research, and if you're ever really confused, just get the all balanced one. Honestly, it's not that serious. Your plants will grow and thrive regardless. It's just maybe the speed of it will be a little bit different. But if you're just trying to survive out there, just get the balanced one. Sorry, I just realized that would be too noisy. But I think that's about it. That's the only thing that I would say that is a must that everybody should go out and buy. I know I raved before about the foliage spray, and I still love that. Don't get me wrong. And I have used it for, I would say like a month and a half straight now, and I would like spray my plants weekly. But I have noticed that it almost like stimulated certain areas with my plants to kind of put off leaves, but then it didn't really sustain the plant as a whole. I don't know if that makes any sense. I guess like when I take you over there and I start watering my fiddle leaf fig, you're gonna see there's certain areas of my fiddle leaf fig where it's getting random growths of leaves, but then some of the older leaves were dropping and I was like, huh? Why? Why are you dropping your leaves? Like, what did I do to you? I used to just chalk it up. It's just they're older leaves. These things happen. But I realized that I think it was because it needed some fertilizer. So the foliage spray, great. But if you want to sustain such a big tree, you should still fertilize your plants. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this jug up with water. I usually fill it up and I'll take you over to my plant area and just kind of like continue talking about the essentials that you need in order to keep your plants alive, and also give you guys like a quick update on Franny, my fiddle leaf fig. Okay, so here is my fiddle leaf fig. So you can see she's still really big and is looking very good, but you know, it's things like this that concerns me. Why did this fall? Do you know what I mean? So when I see a leaf falling and it looks like it's been drained, it kind of tells me that it needs some fertilizer. So I'm going back to my tried and true fertilizer. The foliage spray was great because as you can see over here, it did put off some leaves that I wasn't really anticipating. So this grew from the foliage spray. This also grew. But like I said, I shouldn't be having dropped leaves like this. I mean, it's yellow. It could be an older leaf, that is true, but we're trying to preserve as much as we can. I feel like I'm gonna lose these two leaves as well, which is not ideal, but it happens, but not ideal. I still have growth at the top over there and over here. This is why I'm saying y'all need to just invest in a fertilizer. It doesn't matter how much it costs. At this point for me, it doesn't even matter about the NPK. I just want my plant to survive and continue to give me a big, beautiful leaves. So I'm gonna go ahead and just water my plants. So another essential that I would say that is really important is your light source. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and purchase the most expensive grow light there is out there on the market. I'm saying be mindful that your plants do need some sort of light source in order for it to grow and thrive. I do have a combination of using both natural light, like right here, and grow lights. And the grow lights are actually upstairs, and it's just for plants that aren't getting any lights at all, whether it's in a dark corner or it's in a cabinet. But otherwise, I feel like just using your windows is just fine. You just have to be mindful as to the intensity of the light. So right here, my plants receive about 3 to 4 hours of bright indirect light, and then it's kind of like this. It's a little bit overcasty. Is that even a word? I don't think that's a word, but you know what I mean. It's not receiving that much light. So you can see there's not that much light coming through right now, and my plants are doing fine. So that's the tip that I would give to people who are starting out for the first time. Yes, you can put your plants in front of a window, but if it's not receiving enough direct light, it's not gonna use that energy to produce chlorophyll and grow and thrive. But if it is, you're gonna have something that looks like this, or something that looks like this. I'm actually concerned that my leaf fig, my Monstera albo is gonna outgrow this, and I'm gonna have to give her a chop. I know that there's like different types of lights out there. You know, there's like white light, warm light, you can have red light, blue light. And yes, it does matter. Different types of color lights does dictate how your plants are gonna grow. But if you're just starting out for the first time and you just wanna get your plants to grow and stay alive, put it in front of a window. Or I would still say just put it in front of a window, let it acclimate, let it do its thing. And maybe you decide later on down the road that you want to have a grow light, then add that grow light. But I think just basic necessity, just put it in front of a window. Another essential tip that I would recommend for new houseplant parents is y'all need to just neglect your plants and just have patience. Honestly, it really comes down to that, because I know that when I first got into plants, I was like, oh my God, there's dust on the leaves. Let me wipe it down. Or I would take my whole plants and bring them into my bathroom and give it a shower. Like, it was getting ridiculous. I remember I purchased I have 3 humidifiers in my home right now, and I would put them all over the house where my plants were and turn it on every single day and filled it up with distilled water. Like, it was a lot, and it's so unnecessary. Like, so unnecessary. I would not do that again. Like, if I was to start over, I wouldn't do it again. I keep stressing this. Your plants are going to survive either way. It just needs time to acclimate itself and just do its thing. You need to neglect your plants, because the more you obsess over it, the more likely you're gonna overwater or something like that, and then your plant is just gonna decline anyways. So it's just better to neglect your plants and just be surprised when it puts off a new leaf for you. Like, I'm surprised every single time I look at this variegated Phyduck. When did you start developing a little baby corn over here? I don't even know, but here she is, just doing her own thing. Yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I do feel a little bit better talking about some things that make me happy, helping these plants grow and thrive, and it is very rewarding. And I guess I just wanted to put this video out there, just kind of stressing that, getting into houseplants shouldn't be stressful. You don't need to break the bank to get your plants to grow really big, or just to keep it alive. You don't need to do that. And I think I just don't want people to get caught up in the craze where it's like you need to have the newest gadget for your plants or what have you. By all means, if you have the funds for it and you want to spend the money, do it. Do what makes you happy. Do what gives you that boost of serotonin and dopamine. But I think for the people who are a little bit overwhelmed getting into houseplants and they're just unsure, you only need to do a few things, which is give it some light, fertilize your plants, and actually, I guess the last tip would be to consistently water your plants on a schedule. So for me, I water all of my plants once a week, but it also depends on the environment that your houseplants are in. So these plants back here, I don't know if you guys can see. Can you see? So these plants right over here, they're actually right underneath this Soltech light. So I do find that it dries out faster than these ones over here, because clearly it's right underneath the light source. So I do find that it does need to be watered more frequently, but I'm a lazy person and also a very busy person, so I just water it once a week. I do. And my plants are used to it. They haven't thrown a huge tantrum yet where, they start declining, but yeah, I feel like I'm rambling now. My point is, 4 essential things that you need: fertilizer, light source, consistently water your plants on a schedule, and neglect. So neglect and have patience. If you give them all of these things, it will reward you and give you a new leaf if that's what you're after. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.